What if you could make a woman lean in before you even lean closer? Not because you touched her, but because you made her imagination do the touching first. What if, with a handful of precise moves, you could flip a switch in her mind so that she feels chosen, challenged, safe, and unpredictably intrigued all at once? Most men rush the body and lose the mind. You are going to do the opposite. You are going to undress her mind before her body by learning how desire actually forms, how curiosity grows in the gaps you leave, how tension becomes attraction when it is ethical and calibrated, and how your masculine presence becomes the container that lets her relax, explore, and escalate willingly. Stay with me, because in the next minutes, you will collect the exact psychological levers that separate amateurs from high-value men who don't chase, don't beg, and still get chosen. Start with one decision. Your intent must be clean. Desire is allowed, manipulation is not. This is not about tricks. It is about understanding the way attention, emotion, and meaning work in the female mind and using that understanding with respect. When your intent is clean, your signals are consistent, and consistent signals are irresistible because they reduce threat and amplify curiosity. Women are exquisitely tuned to incongruence. If your words say confident but your eyes plead for approval, she feels the split and her body closes. If your words say relaxed but your tempo is frantic, she senses the performance and withdraws. The first undressing happens when you remove the armor of performance and stand in controlled ease. That means your breathing is steady, your shoulders rest, your jaw is unlocked, and your gaze holds without clinging. Speak slightly slower than you think you should, with downward inflection at the end of sentences. This sub-communicates calm authority. The brain trusts what is grounded. Tension is attractive when it sits inside a frame of security. Your groundedness is that frame. Now the concept that scares average men but feeds female curiosity. Psychological morbidity. The power of the forbidden and the almost unsaid. Do not confuse morbidity with darkness for its own sake. Think of it as high-contrast intrigue, the human pull toward what is a little taboo, a little off-limits, a little dangerous but contained. It is the magnetism of edges. You create edges by revealing a thought that most men would hide, then holding it without apology. I don't pretend to be easy to impress. I like a woman who can match my curiosity. That single line is an edge, selective, unapologetic, and it invites qualification without begging. Curiosity spikes when something is both relevant and unresolved. Your job is to plant relevant seeds that are not fully resolved. You imply a story. You do not dump the whole story. You hint at standards. You do not lecture. You demonstrate desire. You do not negotiate for it. Use the principle of tension and release. Tension without release feels oppressive. Release without tension is boring. Combine them in microcycles. You offer a bold observation, then a playful smile. You lean in to make a point, then lean back to watch how she holds the space you created. You give a compliment that is precise, then you pair it with a challenge that invites effort. That spark in your eyes when you disagree tells me you're not here to be agreeable. Good. So tell me what I'm missing. Compliment the trait you want more of. Spark, courage, wit. Then challenge her to display it. This heals the chronic female complaint that most men flatter in vague ways and ask for nothing real. Women want to rise. You provide the ladder. Drive your conversation with observation, not interrogation. Questions can feel like an interview unless you earn them with presence. Begin with observations that demonstrate attention. You choose words carefully. That usually means you have a fast mind and a protective heart. Where did you learn to filter like that? An observation creates a frame, this is how I see you, that invites her to step into it or correct it. Either way, she invests. Investment is attraction's engine. Robert Cialdini calls it commitment and consistency. People align with what they've already put energy into. When she invests by clarifying, teasing back, or challenging, mirror her investment with proportionate reveal. This is the compliance ladder used ethically. You do not demand vulnerability. You model a measured reveal in response to her reveal. I can play with chaos in business all day. In dating, I prefer clarity. It's cleaner. Notice the structure. Personal truth stated with calm certainty. No justification, no defensive tone. The unspoken message is, I select, I evaluate, and I remain open. That combination, open yet discerning, triggers the exact feminine polarity you want. She can relax into expression while respecting your boundaries. Calibrate your teasing. Tease the behavior, not her identity. Tease with warmth, not contempt. Tease once, then pivot to substance. You're a little bit of a troublemaker, aren't you? Good. Trouble is more interesting when it has discipline. That line creates an edge, the suggestion of mischief, then provides a container, discipline. Edges without containers feel unsafe. Containers without edges feel flat. Master the alternation, and you will feel her lean in. You can literally see the microtells. Pupils hold, shoulders drop, lips part slightly as breath deepens. Those are green lights to continue the dance. Red lights look like fidgeting, gaze darting, clipped answers. Neutral lights look like polite engagement without spark. Read the lights and adjust the dial, never the identity. Your identity is stable, your behavior is adjustable. Your voice is your silent commander. Lower your volume slightly when making a decisive point. The brain leans in to catch it. Pause for a heartbeat after delivering a line with weight. Do not rush to fill the silence. Silence is where her imagination starts undressing itself. The pause is an invitation for her to project meaning. When she fills the pause with a reveal, reward it with presence, not interruption. Say more. 2 words, endless payoff. Do not perform empathy. Demonstrate it by tracking her words, reflecting a keyword, and expanding it. Protective, you said. Protective of what? Each layer deepens intimacy without touching. You are undressing layers of defense and letting desire bloom out of recognition, not out of pressure. Use polarity through standards. Attraction is not built by worship. It is built by selective approval. I'm drawn to women who can challenge me without turning it into a fight. You are declaring a dynamic, not issuing a demand. Now watch her display the trait. If she tries to pick a fight, smile and reframe. You don't need to earn intensity here. Curiosity gets more from me. This cuts the performative spike that some women use to test. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the climate. Stoicism applied to seduction is not about being emotionless. It's about not being yanked by every gust of emotion in the room. You feel, you choose, you lead. That leadership is calming. Calming is sexy. Deploy future pacing ethically to place yourselves in shared images without forcing commitment. You're the kind of woman I would bring to a gallery opening and then steal away after the second room. It's vivid, it's selective, and it plants a picture. Notice that you are not begging for a date. You are narrating your taste and letting her see herself in it. That is psychological undressing. She explores being that woman in your world. If her eyes light, you qualify. If we did, I'd want 2 things: unabashed curiosity and 0 performative nonsense. Deal. This is an invitation to a code of interaction. High-value women find that irresistible because it signals that you are not a man to be managed. You are a man to be met. Master the art of the half-open loop. You mention a topic, then you table it with intention. There's a reason I almost never ask the first question on a date. I'll tell you in a minute. Continue the current thread. When you come back later and reveal the reason. Questions reveal interest, but statements reveal standards. I start with statements to show who I am. Then I ask questions to explore who you are. The delayed reveal rewards attention and teaches her that presence pays off with you. The brain releases dopamine on prediction error. When reward arrives slightly later than expected, it spikes. That is why delayed gratification intensifies attraction. You are literally training her nervous system to find you more rewarding because you do not dump validation on command. You deliver it with timing. Compliment with precision. Vague compliments feel like tactics. Specific compliments feel like evidence. Most people use many words to avoid one truth. You use few words to deliver one truth. Now you are seen as a man who sees. The more precisely you see, the more she relaxes. Relaxation is the doorway to arousal. The sequence is simple: safety first, then intrigue, then escalation. Safety means she feels free from judgment, pressure, and repercussions for honest expression. Intrigue means there is novelty plus uncertainty held inside your steady frame. Escalation means you amplify intensity in response to her green lights. Do not invert the sequence. If you escalate before safety, she retracts. If you escalate without intrigue, she disengages. If you create intrigue without safety, she guards. Get the order right and you will feel the sync click into place. Guard your time with elegant scarcity. Scarcity without value looks like flakiness. Scarcity with value looks like standards. I don't do back and forth texting for days. If the vibe is there, we meet. If not, no hard feelings. When you say it and live it, you cut through the swamp of indecision that exhausts women. You show decisiveness, a masculine trait universally attractive when paired with empathy. On text, speak in images and edges, not logistics alone. Replace, "What are you doing?" with, "I just walked past a tiny espresso bar that smells like a new beginning." Replace, "We should hang out," with, "Tuesday 7 corner table where the music is low enough to hear you think." Logistics become seductive when wrapped in sensory precision. Do not text endlessly. Use text to set frames, spark curiosity, and propose action. The mind undresses itself quickest in your presence. Qualify early and lightly to prevent pedestal dynamics. I like elegance without the need to advertise it. How do you treat yourself when no one is watching? This creates self-selection. If she scoffs at introspection, she disqualifies herself. You are not disappointed. You are grateful for the data. High standards are magnetic when you are willing to act on them. Qualification also softens your compliments. You're clearly beautiful, that's obvious. What I'm listening for is resilience. You just redirected the game from looks to character. Many women are starving to be seen there. Feed that hunger, and you will be remembered. Use contrasts to intensify edges. Pair unexpected traits. I like fierce kindness. I value restless curiosity and stable loyalty. Contradictions provoke thought. They also invite her to reveal the edges of her own identity. When she does, reward by naming the pattern. You carry a quiet authority. You don't need to announce it. Labeling a desirable identity with accuracy is intimate. It also sets the stage for escalation because people move toward those who mirror their best self. When you flirt, keep it dignified. The line between alluring and crude is calibration. Crude language signals low self-control. Alluring language signals chosen intensity. There's a decadence in the way you hold eye contact when you disagree. That is sensual without being explicit. It anchors attraction in character and behavior, not in body parts. Save any physical escalation for moments where consent is clear and momentum is mutual. Ask openly. I'm feeling a pull to be closer to you. Is that welcome? Clean language is powerful. It communicates self-respect and respect for her. If she says yes, escalate 1 step, not 5. If she says maybe, return to play and polarity. If she says no, you accept with ease and remain warm. This communicates that your desire is strong, but not fragile. Desire that can endure a no earns trust. Harness preselection as quiet proof, not loud performance. A man who is at ease around women broadcasts that he has won female trust before. You cultivate this by having healthy friendships with women and speaking about them with respect. A friend of mine said something brilliant about boundaries this week. Notice, not a flex, not a name drop. Simply evidence that you live in a world where feminine insight is familiar. Preselection works because it reduces perceived risk. Pair it with integrity so it never smells like games. Bring your body language into alignment with your words. Face at a slight angle rather than squared up head-on. It reads as confident and non-threatening. Stand with weight evenly distributed and feet grounded. It reads as stable. Gesture with palms occasionally up when inviting and palms down when concluding. It reads as balanced authority. Let your eyes do more work than your hands. Eye contact carries huge bandwidth in female arousal maps. Hold eye contact during her reveal, not during your own lines. It tells her her words matter. Break eye contact to think, not to seek approval. Each of these micro-behaviors is a stitch in the fabric of trust. Trust is the dress the mind removes first. Use the triad of reveal, withhold, redirect. Reveal a truth that matters to you. Withhold the backstory. Redirect to her experience. I get protective of my mornings. That's when I build the next version of me. What part of your day is non-negotiable? You become the man with a mission, not the man seeking a role to audition for. Purpose is the deepest aphrodisiac for the feminine because it signals trajectory. A woman wants to feel the wind of your direction on her skin. It is not about money or status alone. It is about momentum. Speak to your momentum without bragging. Evidence, not advertisement. I cut 3 hours of noise from my day last month. The focus feels like oxygen. That line carries discipline, self-respect, and a subtle challenge. Match my standards. Do not hide your desire. Shape it. I find intelligence intoxicating. If your mind keeps surprising me, I want more. That is a clean desire statement. Specific, character-focused, and pointing to escalation as a natural response to mental chemistry. Speak as the chooser. Men who wait to be chosen adopt a passive frame that exhausts women. Choosing does not mean chasing. Choosing means you know what you want and you create an environment where it can emerge. You do that through logistics as well. Pick venues that support conversation and subtle escalation. Choose seating that allows shoulder-to-shoulder intimacy rather than spotlight interrogation. Order first with confident clarity, then ask her preference and incorporate it. Leadership is not domination, it is direction plus care. When conflict appears, and it will appear with any woman worth your time, treat it as an intimacy accelerator. Keep your voice low, strip sarcasm, and translate her emotion into its need. It sounds like you want to feel considered, not managed. If you are right, you see relief on her face. If you are wrong, she corrects you, which is still progress. The skill is emotional labeling without theft. You name what you think you see, but you do not speak over her. Men who can hold friction without flinch create a container where desire deepens. The mind undresses when judgment is absent. Replace "you always" with "I'm hearing." Replace "calm down" with "take your time." Replace "that's not true" with "I see it differently. Can I share?" Your masculinity becomes medicine. Leverage ethical scarcity in your availability after a great conversation or date. Do not flood her phone with proof that you had a good time. That is self-negation. Send one message that anchors a shared moment and reaffirms your standard. That look you gave me when we disagreed about travel, dangerous. I like it. Wednesday I'm focused, Thursday I'm open after 8. You compliment a trait, you name your schedule, you propose with clarity. If she takes time to respond, you remain calm. Do not punish with silence. Do not reward with chasing. You are consistent. Consistency is rare. Rarity creates value. When she tests, and she will, welcome it. Tests are not attacks, they are data points. She wants to know if your stated confidence is real. Answer with playful conviction, not defense. If she says, "Maybe you're too intense," smile. Intensity is my default. It's also my filter. If she says, "You must say that to everyone," hold eye contact. I don't offer this conversation to everyone. That defeats the fun. Short, grounded, done. Do not explain. Explanations are often negotiations with your own doubt. You are not doubtful. You are simply selective. If you feel yourself slipping into performance mode, use a reset line that returns you to presence. I realize I'm more interested in impressing you than enjoying you. I won't do that. Then relax. The meta-honesty disarms the entire game. You have now undressed a deeper layer, the part of her that is tired of men performing. She will test by watching if you actually relax. So do it. Let silence breathe. Sip, smile, notice the room, then resume with curiosity about her essence, not her resume. What do you like when you feel completely unobserved? That question bypasses scripts. Remember that arousal in the female body is context sensitive. The meaning she assigns to you shapes how her body responds to you. You create meaning by the way you handle micro moments. If a waiter makes a mistake, you stay elegant. If plans change, you adapt without complaint. If she shares a boundary, you thank her for it. Tiny moves signal big truths. She is not only evaluating whether she wants you tonight, she is intuitively evaluating whether she could relax with you tomorrow morning, next month, or not at all. Be the man who makes relaxation a default. Integrate the archetypal language that women feel even if they never studied it. When you speak, evoke the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover, not as roles to act, but as energies to embody. The king sets standards and blesses. The warrior protects boundaries and acts decisively. The magician perceives patterns and plays with them. The lover feels deeply and expresses artfully. Blend them. I like to lead plans, protect what matters, play with ideas, and savor good company. That sentence holds all four. She will not label them. She will feel them. Feeling is what undresses the mind. If a moment comes where physical escalation is wanted, do not surprise. Signal. Signals can be as simple as softening your voice and lowering your words per minute while your eye contact extends by a breath. State, do not ask your intention, then ask consent for execution. I want to kiss you. Is that welcome? Mature women find that devastatingly attractive because it signals commanding desire bounded by respect. If the answer is yes, kiss with presence, not hunger. Mirror her tempo first, then lead gently. Pull back slightly before she expects. Look at her again, and smile. You are teaching her nervous system that your intensity is precise. Precision creates trust. Trust invites more opening. Opening invites more intensity. The spiral continues by choice, not pressure. After intimacy, do not vanish. Vanishing is the move of men who fear their own depth. Send a simple line that anchors respect without over-investing. I enjoyed you. Rest well. If you want more, say so cleanly. If you do not, close with kindness. Your reputation is a long game. High-value women talk, and your name can carry warmth or warning. Let it carry warmth. Finally, embody the paradox that makes a man unforgettable. You are fully satisfied in yourself and fascinated by the right woman. Neediness repels because it asks a woman to be your emotional oxygen. Self-sufficiency without fascination is cold. The sweet spot is sovereign curiosity. My life is full, my focus is sharp, and I still choose to make room for the right kind of fire. That posture makes a woman undress her mind on her own. She will imagine your mornings, your standards, your hands, your voice, your invitations. She will rehearse answers to your questions without you being there. That is the power you want. Not pressure, not persuasion, but presence that lives inside her once you leave. So here is your actionable blueprint condensed into lived behavior. Stand in clean intent. Speak slower than you think. Use observation before questions. Create tension with edges and release with warmth. Compliment with precision. Qualify lightly and early. Lead logistics with clarity. Signal desire without apology. Ask consent cleanly. Handle friction with calm translation. Reward reveals with presence. Keep elegant scarcity. Close well. Repeat until it feels like your natural language. Because the truth is this: the most seductive men are not performing a script. They have internalized principles until they become their default. When you live this way, you will notice a shift. Women stop testing whether you are a man. They start exploring how far they can relax with you. That is the moment the mind undresses itself. That is the moment the body follows by choice. And that is the standard you keep from now on.